All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're watching from. You know who it is. It is Management, and this is I Am Sure Sports. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is doing fine. We look to the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the Lord, who has made the heavens and the earth. He keeps us, as you know, and He never slumbers and He never sleeps. There's a passage of scripture that I like very well. I love it because it speaks to the strength that we have in the Lord to overcome the many trials, tribulations, and temptations. It says, count it all joy. In the book of James, it says that count it all joy when you go through diverse different types of trials, different type of troubles. Different translation use different words. He says, because it says count all joy when you go through diverse trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces. So when you're being tested, it means that something better is being produced in you. You're going through a trial right now, something better is being produced. You have adverse circumstances, something better is being produced. Now you have a choice, either to get better from this or get bitter from it. I choose betterment over bitterness. Come on now. I choose betterment over bitterness. I am like Charles Swindoll, right? I understand that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I respond to it. I don't control people's action, but certainly I control my own reaction. Yeah, that's my word of encouragement to you. Live good and be good. Of course, you know today is the day when Jamaica battles the British, British, or British Virgin Islands. My little goddaughter was speaking to her and she says, Uncle Omar, it is not British, it is British. British. And I said, where did you learn that from? And she said, oh, it was your son, you know. So my son told her, and so she don't say British Virgin Islands, she said British Virgin Islands. So I hope you can get that. Just pronounce it without the T. All right. As usual, if this is the first time to the platform, remember to hit the like button. Subscribe, and SHARE mean share. So if you could just do that right now, take a moment or two, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. As I get into this content, I want to speak to you briefly so you can understand the what is happening here on today's game. All right, so last night, as you know, Guatemala played the Dominican Republic. Guatemala won that game by 4-2. So when we look at the present standing in our group, because the group that Jamaica is in, that includes Guatemala, yes, it includes Dominica Republic, it includes Jamaica, it includes Dominica, and it includes the BVI. So here are the standings. As we speak, Guatemala leads on 9 points, Jamaica are on 6 points, Dominica Republic on 3, Dominica on 3, and the British Virgin Islands, they are on 0 points. So they have lost all 3 games, right? So they cannot progress. 2 teams go through first and second place. So as we stand, Guatemala and Jamaica, any result for Jamaica means we progress to the next round. Any result, any good result, meaning a draw or a win, means Jamaica is automatically into the next stage. Where, oh my word, the next stage, meaning that in that stage we have 6 games, 3 at home, 3 away to qualify for another World Cup. I'm bubbling with joy and excitement where this is concerned. So, but we don't just want to get any result. We want victory, which would move us to 9 points. But we want to also lead the zone. We want to finish in the number 1 position. All right, very important, right? That we finish in the number 1 position. Here is why we need to finish in the number 1 position. We need to finish in the number 1 position because it helps with our seeding going into the next round. So how can we do that? All right, how do we get into the number 1 position. We get into the number one position. Very, very simple. We win this game by 10 clear goals. We are leading the group. Because as we speak, Guatemala, right? Guatemala has an 11 goal difference. Jamaica has 2. All right? Yeah. Jamaica has 2. Guatemala 11. Jamaica has 2. Guatemala 11. Jamaica has 2. All right? What that means, there's a 9 goal difference. Jamaica scores 10 goals. That means now we are plus 12, they will be plus 11. It means for Guatemala to top the group, they would have to come to Jamaica and beat Jamaica. Highly unlikely. All right, what we don't want is to be in a position where they can just get a draw and top the group. No, but I believe that my reggae boys, your reggae boys, our reggae boys will beat Guatemala at home. So come hell or high waters, Jamaica will top the group. And what it would be such a big send-off to have the team give a victory to the fans in Jamaica as they head off to the Gold Cup. It is not the best condition. It is extremely hot, right? I feel like it is hotter than in Jamaica. As you know, it's 2 o'clock. In Jamaica, that the game will play 3 o'clock here. It's very, very hot. But I believe that there will be tons of Jamaican fans in the stadium to cheer on the players. Not only that, listen, I big up to the BVI. The people have been very good. The hospitality has been great. It feels like we're in Jamaica because there are so many Jamaicans that we have interacted with. But just the field, the surface, all right? And I don't want to be negative. I don't want to tear anyone down. But I will tell you this, that I compare the surface, now the building in terms of the indoors facility and stuff, good condition. Their track, they have a good enough track. But this surface is not at the standard of the surface at Catherine Hall. It's not at the standard of the surface at Arnett Gardens. The standard at the Stadium East, the standard in the National Stadium. I would say if I were to compare it to a surface in Jamaica, it would be more like Draxall on one of its good days. Like when Draxall is good, when the bounce is kind of smooth and the surface it hasn't been used a whole lot, I would say that's what I'd compare it to, right? So that will be interesting to see how the team navigates that kind of a condition. But I don't see us winning less than 10 goals. That is my expectation. I know this is one of our biggest, the team that we have had the biggest senior team victory against in our history. I think we defeated them in the past by 12 goals to nil. Imagine we could repeat that. I think that will be. So looking forward to the game. Watch it. And encourage, and I just want to say this, right? I think while we're in Jamaica, I think Leon was outside and he was having very casual outside the hotel. So a lot of staff and players were out there. It's not like he was out there. He was out there, I think, a few others, and he was having a very casual, fun conversation with everyone. And somehow they took a very short clipping of a long lengthy conversation with many people involved. Now, I was not there, but there were at the beginning of this whole thing, there were probably, including staff and players, close to 20 persons out there, close to the hotel. It's not like they were at some party or anywhere. They were right there where the hotel is, and someone has kind of taken this, put out a part, clipped apart, and I'm wondering if we really mean the players sometimes any good. And the type of backlash and stuff that I see, people are not perfect, and of course there ought to be standards, but I don't think there is anything in it. I don't think so. But I think he gets abused by association. Like, people have not taken time to understand him and many others. I think he's misunderstood, and the misunderstood leads to abuse, especially by the Jamaican fan base. I think Shamar goes through that as well. I think Damien goes through that. I think Andre used to go through that. People don't take time to know the players. I would say, take a moment if you can and understand the players. Because maybe what you're thinking, you're believing, you're assuming is not so. Now, this is not an excuse. Because when people do things that are unprofessional, unbecoming of the standards that they ought to live at, then obviously they must face the criticism. But too often we take snippets out of people's conversation and create a negative around their entire life. We need to stop it. We need to stop being toxic. I'm giving you clear examples. You have also heard me say this on my platform on many occasions, that if you take con away from, if you take the text away from the con, because context is spelled C-O-N-T-E-X-T. If you remove the text, you will only be left with a con. And many people are being conned because people are presenting to them information without the full context. I'll give you a good one. I have a recent example of someone who was told that a player got his Jamaican visa. And this is just an example. Got a Jamaican visa. And it was so far from the truth. So if someone is spotted in Jamaica, the assumption is, if they're a footballer, that they have gotten paperwork and stuff. It is not like that. And we continue as a society to fill in the blank as we learned in school. And we fill in the blank with innuendos, aspersions, and just assumptions. And we need to stop it. Get to know people. All right? I had to put that in, but listen to me. This is going to be a good game. I hope you're watching it. All the Jamaicans in the BVI out here, come out and support the team. Listen, make sure on Tuesday you send off Jamaica, Jamaicans in Jamaica. Make sure that you give your reggae boys a good send off to the Gold Cup. They are going there to win it. Come to this national stadium. I hear some crazy fans talking about players not selected, so they're going to boycott it. Listen, stay where you are. Because if everyone thought like you, then no one would go to games. Because the player, somebody else have a player that they want in the team. What if everybody were to boycott? Come on, this is crazy. Oh, if the coach don't select one of the players that I want, I'm going to boycott the team. Are you really a fan? Think about how trivial that is. Grow up. Be wise. Be a part of a unified force and not a divided offshoot. If you like the content, as usual, hit the like button. Subscribe, please. Make sure you share. Alright, thanks to all the persons who have commented in the comment section on the last video. I get even some calls saying that very good, they love the content. Big up. I have to big up God-given talent Lawrence over there in the UK. Listen, you're gonna see me sporting some of his hats and all of those things. You understand me? Big up. I have to big him up. Right? I have to big up Chef Wisdom. You understand me? I have a big one. We have a big talking about name brand stuff and colognes. Man is man. We'll be launching that with Chef Wisdom right in St. Anne, Jamaica. You don't want to miss it. You talk about the brand, we have it. Whether it be Louis V, you understand me? Whether I don't know, Tom Ford, whatever it is, you name it, we have it. Coming soon. I am management. This is I Am Sure Sports, and as usual, when we get to the end of the program, we say, clap your hands. We are over, and we are OUT out of here.